everyone, it's your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, and today I figured we would try the new Rare Beauty eyeshadow palette. Since the brand has surprised me with their foundation and concealer, I figured I'd try some other stuff. So since they finally came with eyeshadow palettes, because I feel like she knew the market for eyeshadow palettes is quite, you know, the more profitable market, in my personal opinion, when it comes to makeup. Because everybody, when you see the eyeshadow palette collection, has 5 million eyeshadows. They might have maybe 10 concealers and foundation combined, but they got at least 20 eyeshadow palettes. So I'm glad she finally came out with some eyeshadow palettes. This is what the packaging looks like. There's a purple one, and then of course there's a blue one. So we know which one I'm most excited about, the blue one. But this is the inside of the purple one. I forgot to start with that one since I feel like, again, y'all are expecting me to use the blue one. So, oh, the little paper fell out on its own, and it has a little thing in there that says "You are rare," and this is what it looks like. This shade kind of reminds me of the one in one of the Pat McGrath quads. Matter of fact, in the Interstellar Icon one that y'all just saw today, that's what this color reminds me of. And this color kind of reminds me of the one in the Flora Fantasia palette. So a couple of these shades are kind of reminding me of Pat McGrath shades. So I'm like, So I'm going to swatch them at the end and see if they're the same or not. Just because I'm curious now that I opened it. Because when I opened it, I just opened it to make sure that the shades weren't broken. I didn't open it to like examine the colors and all that. I usually do that on camera with you all, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't broken. So when I opened it on camera, it wasn't no surprise. Like, oh, all this is broken. Like with the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter situation I had earlier this month. This is Confident Energy, and that was Magnetic. What was it? Magnetic Spirit. I'm always like, I don't know if it's because I'm not a Yopi type person or whatever, but like the names, I just be like, oh, okay. I mean, like, I get this supposed to be empowering or whatever, but I don't know. I guess because I'm not used to it, it's just weird. Again, it says "You are rare," and then we all know this one is more my color aesthetic. Like, just look at it. It's just my color aesthetic. It's greens and blues. I can even tolerate golds like this. These are my type of golds, like these really yellowy golds. Those are the golds I like. And then it has a couple other ones. Like, I feel like this one is trying to be a dual chromey, like champagne to like greenish type shade. So I don't know. But I had this brilliant idea. I'm just kidding. I didn't have this brilliant idea. Karen Harris had this brilliant idea. And I decided I would try it out today. But of course, y'all know how I am. If I take somebody's idea or if I get inspiration from anyone, I definitely make sure I speak on it. So Karen Harris gave me this awesome idea. Shout out to Karen. Love Karen Harris. I just watched her Terra Moon video last night, and I was so excited because I was like, I hadn't seen anybody who was like, you know, kind of darker reviewing the Terra Moon palette that just came out. So I was excited because I'm like, I wanted to get it, but I'm like, I don't see anybody that's like even close to my skin tone. I feel like Karen is at least closer to my skin tone than all the other people that Terra Moon sent it to. So I appreciate them sending it to her. So, you know, people that do have somewhat melanin in their skin have some idea of how it's going to look. I mean, I would prefer they send it to, you know, like actual black content creators that were gonna like do videos on it instead of just like swatches. I think the legally blonde, I'm sorry, legally beauty, black beauty or something like that, I think she had it, but it's like the swatches are nice. I want to see it on your eyeballs and see how it performs. So I appreciate Karen getting it for that reason. But anyway, she said I should use, well, she said it would be good to use them with the Too Faced Tutti Frutti palettes, and I thought that was a really good idea because you got to think the pineapple one has browns and greens and golds in it, just like the Confident Energy one does, and then the Razzle Dazzle Berry one has the purples in it that you would need as far as the mattes go with the Magnetic Spirit one. So I was like, shout out to you, Karen. You're a genius. Thank you so much. I will be doing it. So shout out to Karen Harris for that idea. I did bring the pineapple, the papaya pop one too, just in case. Even though I think they're getting rid of the whole Tutti Frutti line, which I'm kind of sad about because this was my favorite part about that line. These palettes are awesome, and the blushes were really nice as well. Anyway, I brought this one just in case I want to use like this purple or maybe one of these shades, because I might do a couple of eye looks with each palette just to kind of use all the shimmers, because y'all know me, I ain't doing no all shimmer look, and if I do, it would be most likely with like one of the Pat McGrath quads or something. But this year she actually put mattes in them, which I'm super excited about. Again, you all have already seen that video. You're watching it right now while I'm filming this one. It is Saturday, and that's the video going up for Saturday. I think I want this one to go up for Sunday, and then the Natasha Denona highlighter one to go up for Monday. And then Tuesday, I'm going to have one reviewing this Flower Beauty primer that I found at CVS when I went in there Friday. You all should saw the picture on my IG. If you follow Gel Beauty 87's IG, then you've already seen it. If you do not, you have not. Mine has some kind of weird little scratch on it. You see, like, there's some weird sticky film on my palette. I don't know what's going on with that, but okay. I just took a makeup remover wipe to wipe the thing off my hand. So I guess I wiped it off the palette too. But I'm like, how did it already show up like that if, you know, I didn't use it? But I noticed when I first opened it up that it had that issue on it. I don't know what that's about, but okay. Just gonna go ahead and wipe it off there and go on with our life. It's not like any of the shadows are broken. I'd be more concerned about that than about this weird sticky thing on the palette. So I'm gonna just take this Catrice Eye Foundation Waterproof Eye Base Primer, and I'm going to start off with the purple one because y'all know my favorite one is going to be the blue one. So I want to end on that note because Adriangameover and I have to go grocery shopping, I think, after this. And then I'll come back and do some more eyeshadow videos, but he wants some popcorn and some French toast sticks. So I'm gonna try to get us to Aldi's to get the French toast sticks. And then I'm going to get us to try to get us to CVS to get the popcorn because I have a coupon for $5 worth of free money. So I'm like, I can buy the popcorn there and then I don't have to pay for it at all. And then I can buy the French toast sticks at Aldi's and they won't cost me that much. And then I can go buy gas and, you know, call it a day. Even though I'm thinking about just buying the French toast sticks at Meyer and buy their brand. Because I'm like, money was tight this week because I still had to buy that palette I just talked about, the Karen Harris review, the Terra Moon one. Because I've never bought anything from them before, but I know they always do pre-order. So I wanted to get my pre-order in early to make sure that it shipped out in a timely fashion. Because it's not coming till December, but I just want to risk them running out. And then, you know, not being able to get the palette. Because it does look like a nice palette, and I've never tried any matte from them. I do have some of their single dual chromes, and I thought that they performed pretty well, so that's why I was intrigued to get like some actual mattes and see how the mattes work. Plus I'm excited that they're doing a palette as opposed to like individuals, because, you know, I'm not a person who's really big on individual shadows. I'm trying to make myself be big on them more since I only almost have a palette full of them. I bought that book of shadows from Colored Rain, and mine is almost full. I literally have like 1 page left out of the 3 pages in there, so it means I need to get my life in order. Okay, so with these, I don't know what colors we're gonna use. Obviously, I feel like we should do a more purple look starting off, but at the same time, I kind of want to do a look with this shade right here and maybe like the orange in the inner corner or something like that. I don't know. So, I actually think I'm going to use the Papaya Pop palette to start off with, just because I like this purple in here a little bit better than I like this purple right here. I feel like this one's a little lighter, so we're going to kind of dust that one in the crease. And then we're going to start off with the Papaya Pop palette in this shade right here. So I'm glad I bought both because I had a feeling something like that was going to end up happening and I wanted to be prepared. So I just brought all 3. I used to leave the Razzle Dazzle Berry here, but I hate like taking apart my collection. It always makes me sad. Like, so I ended up just taking it back home. Now with the Melt Cosmetics holiday collection from last year, I actually separated it and I'm fine with as weird as this. I think it's because I already have a palette that's similar to it at my house, so I'm like, I don't really need to have both of them there. I mean, it's cool to have the skull together, but the way my makeup drawer is set up, they're not sitting side by side where it's actually the skull is connected anyway. So I think that's another reason I'm okay with it, because it's not like I have a beauty room where I can sit it and then it'll be sit up and then you see like both of them are connected. So that's why I'm fine with it, as weird as that is. And I know that sounds really weird, but like, I'm truly fine with it just because of that. Anyway, this shade is blending pretty nicely. I feel like it would blend easier if it was a more pointed brush, but since I started off with this type of brush, I was mainly trying to start with this just to sit it down, and then I think I'll take my brush I would normally use for this step to kind of blend it out some more, since it's looking kind of stiff because it doesn't have the rounded front on it to do what I needed to do. So, where's the brush I was going to use? I was going to use, yeah, here it is. My e.l.f. detailed crease brush. We're going to take it and just start blending the shade now that we have sat it down, because it will blend out better because of the way this brush is made. I hope everyone is enjoying their week. In Chicago has been put back into phase 3 because of COVID cases rising. So I'm like, it's just about to get worse now that winter's coming, because we have Bruce Harshal winters as it is. So I'm just dreading wintertime coming here in Chicago. And of course, I had to be born a winter baby, so I'm like, this just sucks. But I hope your state doesn't have snowy winters like mine does, and then maybe you have as hard a time with this pandemic as people in states that have snow and things will. I feel like we're gonna have the grunt and the worst of it. Okay, that looks pretty nicely blended to me. So we're gonna get out of this Papaya Pop palette. We're gonna go to the Razzle Dazzle and use that shade I told you about, this one right here. And I love all the cute little like pictures that they have on here. I did notice on this one, they didn't have a cute picture. So I was like, y'all couldn't find a papaya that you thought was cute enough. Because there's like no picture of any fruit on here. But I think there's a pineapple in the pineapple one. Now let me check. Yeah, see, it's a cute little pineapple, and then it was a cute little raspberry. But then the papaya one, it's like they just didn't try it all. It's like, I don't know what's going on with that. But they could have gave it the papaya like some freckles or whatever and made the freckles black and, you know, made that a whole thing. But, you know, I guess because they knew this was going to be their last hoorah, they didn't try to put in as much effort, especially since like a week after it came out and it went on clearance. I was going to buy one for you all to put in a giveaway, but when I got to it, it was like gone. Because like I remember when they finally clearanced out to like get rid of it for good, it was like $9.50. It also, I had in my car like, yes, let's get it. Looked up and it was gone. I was like, oh, because I love these palettes. I know a lot of people don't like them, but hopefully I'll be able to find one at, where's that place? Ulta. I wish they had did a blueberry one, like, you know, what's the face in them did? BH Cosmetics. I think it'd been awesome if they had did like a cute little blueberry pie one or something. So you could use like the brown as the crust and like the outer V shade. I mean, as some brown shades in the palette, and then they could have used like different tones of blue, or maybe like a blueberry cream pie, and then it had like a white dual chromey shimmer like it does in the Blue Moon palette that has like blue sparkles in it or something. I feel like that'd have been like an awesome take on this fruit thing, but they, you know, stopped doing it, so, you know, they can't do it now because that line doesn't even exist anymore, as sad as it is. I mean, I didn't like the foundation. I didn't try the setting spray. I didn't like the setting powder just because I felt like it was quite glittery. But it did have some nice products in it. Like I said, these eyeshadow palettes were like the best thing in this line. They were amazing. But a lot of people didn't like those either, which I didn't understand because I felt like they blended fine. The shimmers in these palettes were amazing. Now, the Razzle Dazzle Berry one, it was my least favorite, even though, you know, I felt like it was, I don't know. I think I just didn't like the black shimmery shade. And then I feel like the shimmers in this palette weren't as nice as the ones in the pineapple one and the papaya one. Those are really nice. I just feel like the ones in this purple palette are kind of lacking. Anyway, let's blend this out. And then we can get into the shimmers finally in the palette we actually came for. I think the next part of the video, I'm going to just do the mattes off camera. So that way we can focus on this palette. Because I'm sitting here for like a good 12 minutes just blending this and doing all this other stuff. So I'm just like, oh, Lord. Anyway, let's get into the palette you came for, which is the Magnetic Spirit. So I'm going to swatch the 3 shades we're going to use. So it'll help me determine where we're going to put them. Oh, yeah, you definitely a topper shade because ain't no way in the hell I can just put that on my lid on its own. So these are those satiny type shades that we all know I don't like. So, and then the one I was most excited about is the topper. So, so far I'm not liking it. And then this one seems like it's a topper. So it's like, what are you supposed to use for inner corner shades if everything just seems kind of topper-esque, if you will? I don't know. I'm going to just swatch the rest of the palette because why the hell not? We're already sitting here with it. Okay, yeah, so this is the entire palette. We're just going to stick with these 4 right here. Y'all know the drill. The dark purple is going to go in the back. This lighter purple is going to go in the front. And then this topper shade, we're going to put on the lighter, like, berryish tone to see if I'll like it a little better then because it seems really sheer and satiny. Although I feel like I kind of just want to put this one all over the lid. Pop that on top because I feel like that'll be beautiful together. Plus, it'll give me the nice smokiness I normally like. Maybe put this in the inner corner and just put the champagne on top of it to give it an extra pop. But I'm thinking maybe I'll just put this in the inner corner and then we can do a look with just these 3 and the pineapple palette on this side. So I think we might go ahead and do it that way. Anyway, let me find a brush to put on the lid because I've been pulling brushes as I go like I normally do. So I'm going to take this 205 brush from e.l.f. And I noticed they stopped making this brush, which makes me sad. I went to their website a couple of times and I haven't seen it at all. I'm like, excuse me, where the hell is my brush? Who the hell told you not to have my brush? I feel like I'm going to have a problem because they don't want to carry my brush. And I don't want to have to be a violent person and hurt them. They still have my detailed crease brush though. So at least I have that to look forward to. Because I don't use a lot of e.l.f. brushes. And those are like, these are like my 2 signature ones. This one and the one you saw me using a little while ago to blend out the matte shades. Those are the 2 e.l.f. brushes I truly love. I didn't like the fluffy blending brush. I mean, it's good if you just blend it out the crease, but you know. Yeah, see, this is my type of smoky eye, y'all know. So we're gonna take that topper shade I showed y'all earlier, this one, and just start seeing if it'll. Okay, yeah, see, when you pat it on, it's a whole lot of extra to this look. But I feel like if we had tried to put on that lighter shade, I wouldn't have liked it as much. It looks really similar to an eye look I've done before, but you know, it's fine. It looks nice. Take this brush and go into that shade. That's not giving me the pop in the corner I necessarily wanted, but you know, it's fine. If I didn't have another eye look to do, I think I would drag it across the lower lash line, but alas, I do have other eye looks to do, so we can't be doing it. But this is the finished eye look using the Magnetic Spirit. Now let us get into the Confident Energy. Why is it so difficult to open? God. Okay, there we go. Pop this Your Rare part out of the eye. And like I said, we're going to go into this palette with the Sparkling Pineapple. Throw these 3 brushes over here. I told y'all I'm always lacking space. So as soon as I get done with something, I always have to move it out the way, because otherwise I don't have no space. And I don't want stuff falling off and then possibly breaking, because you know that's not what we bought it for. This eye is a little tacky still from the eyeshadow primer. Let me rub it a little bit more, try to make it a little bit tackier to help with the matte that we're about to put on. Okay. So this is the inside of this one. I really like this shade in here a lot. It does 2 or 3 duochrome flips to it. But we're going to start off with this one on the outer V, of course. And then we're going to take this one into the crease. And then we'll figure out what shimmers we're going to do after the fact. So let me wipe these other shimmers off my hand now, because we're about to get to this next palette, which means we're going to need to see all the shimmer swatches on my hand so I can get an idea of how I'm going to use them. And this is Sigma E45, one of my favorite brushes to use. I just bought another one of these. Whenever Sigma has a $10 sale on brushes, I try to like grab my favorite eye brushes. And they had a recent sale, a set of brushes on sale as well. So I went ahead and grabbed a couple of those. I grabbed the bronzer brush, because I had been wanting that one for a while, but it was like $25. When it went down to 20 bucks, I was like, sold. And then I think I had a coupon on top of that, so they made it a decent amount, which I was shocked about, because they usually don't let you use like coupon codes with the influencer, like what do you call them, influencer collaborations or whatever. I don't know why I feel like the brown is dipping further out here, but okay. We're gonna take this BH Cosmetics brush and just dust all right up in here. Then I think I'm gonna grab my, what is it? My Sigma E33, and go into that lighter brown shade we just talked about. Start trying to dust that into the crease a little bit. I feel like this look is going to be a little bit softer as opposed to as smoky as what I just did, which is fine because it gives you like 2 different like ideas and ways to use the palette. I'm interested in using these shimmer palettes with my Viseart palettes as well, so I might do a palette mashup of that later on, because since I have all these holiday palettes, I feel like we need to utilize them. So I actually brought the Viseart palette with me today, so I'm thinking maybe Sunday I'll get into those, like doing more palette mashups. But I know tonight I need to do my video for Sunday that goes up on IG, so I will definitely be doing that tonight, single shadow Sunday. But I want to spend some time with Adrian too, because I normally don't get a chance to. He usually is with his dad on the weekends. So since he's not for once, he will be spending some time with mommy. And he wants one of my friends to come hang out with us, but I'm like, I don't know. I know he has his daughter this weekend, and he might just want to, you know, spend time with his daughter, not necessarily spend time with his daughter and my son. So I'm like, we'll see. I'll talk to him. I told Adrian I would talk to him about it and see how he feels about it. But, you know, I'm not going to try to get his hopes up. Whenever he asks me something, I'll be like, yeah, we'll see about it. So, because, you know, I don't control other people, and he might, you know, just want to spend time with his child, not mine. So let's get into the swatching of all these colors that are just gorgeous. So we got that one and this one. I'm obsessed with like the green and the blue in it, and it has a nice bronzy shade in it too. And then it has more of like a yellow gold, which if I have to use a gold, those are the golds I prefer to use. So that's why the Confident Spirit, I believe is the name of the one we're doing now, is the one that was more attractive to me, just because it has colors that I would gravitate toward more. And it has this cool, like, it looks like a gold to green shift going on with it that I would love to pop on top of this green shade. And then it has this more like peachy shade to go with the bronze. So it's like, I'll probably do a peachy bronze look later on, but these are the shades that we have. I'm most likely going to use this one, this one, this one, and then the gold. And then another time I'll use the bronze and the peach and the gold to make another look. But y'all know me, so you most likely know what this look about to be looking like. Anyway, let's get into it, because we've been sitting here for like 20 minutes and I still have not come to the end so that we could, you know, review and decide if I like these or not. So I'm going to start off with, I'm actually going to start off, I think, with the blue on the outer V, and then we'll go into the green toward the front, since we're going to add that extra dual chrome green on top of it, and then we're going to put this gold in the inner corner. So excuse me, I'm taking this ColourPop brush and just starting off with the blue. Yes, blue, come through. That's what you do. So the blue is looking quite nice. We're going to turn the brush over to the clean side now and go into that green shade I talked about. And hopefully they will transition nicely into each other. If they don't, I'm thinking I'm going to use that light shimmer in between and try to make it work better that way. I think I prefer to put the blue over the top of that. So turn over and try to mesh the blue on top of the green, like so. I feel like that's going a little bit better than the way I was originally doing it. And then we just, when we transition with that lighter dual chromey type shade, we will, you know, I'm just going to try to put that in between, and then just pat it toward all the way towards the front of the eye. Let me go back into the Tutti Frutti palette and take that lighter brown and just dust it in the crease here. I feel like a little bit of that blue got put on here and I'm not feeling it, so we're gonna have to fix that to get that out of the crease. And now we can go back in with this brush and dust. So now we're gonna go into the top or edge type shade, and I'm gonna tap it over here and start going across. Try to fix that line, if you will. I'm sorry if I can hear Adriangameover in the background, but I told y'all he's here with mommy, so that's what's going on. So I feel like once we put that shade on the middle, you can't really tell as much that it's changed over, and it's made that blue a little bit more green, so I feel like it's blending in with the green a little better. And I feel like it's not nearly as obvious as it was before that, you know, there were two different colors. It just looks like a pretty nice transition now. So I'm kind of impressed with myself there. Anyway, let's get into the gold shade that we're going to stick into the inner corner. Brush. I think I'm gonna take my, I can use this one forever. This is the dual fiber blend brush, the E41 from Sigma. I'm gonna try to put that, use that as the gold in the inner corner. So, okay. Okay, so as you can see, this inner corner is more exciting than this one. That's because of the shade that we chose. If I chose a brighter shade, obviously it would be brighter. So let's get into our thoughts on both of these lovely little palettes here. So I'm actually pretty impressed with both the palettes. They have nice color stories to them. Like I said, there's a couple of colors in here that remind me of a couple of colors in the Pat McGrath palettes. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch those real quick. I'm talking about the holiday palettes for this year, not like no other ones. And there's a couple of colors in here that remind me of colors in the Pat McGrath bigger holiday palette. So I'm gonna just swatch the couple of shades that are closest to me, and then as usual on IGTV, you'll have to go there to check out all the other swatches that there are. But I'm gonna start off with the, what is it, Magnetic Spirit, this purple one right here, because there's a couple of the new quads that just came out that I feel like has a couple of similar shades in it. Like that brown sparkly one she has on the end with the dual chromy gold shades. I mean with the dual chromy green glitter in it. I feel like it's really similar to this the Icon, I'm sorry, Interstellar Icon. This shade right here, Divine Dahlia. So I'm gonna swatch this shade. I think it's called a Blaze, against that shade to see if they're similar. So it looks like hers is more taupe based, whereas Mother's seems to be more bronzy based. So they're not exactly the same. This seems more like a dirty olive green, but I feel like it has the same glitters in it. It's just like a olivey, or sorry, a dark grungy olivey-ish version of this one. So I'm glad I was wrong about that. I know the shade Bluebell in here is much darker than this shade right here, so we don't have to worry about that. So I'll put that one back. Where's the Interstellar box? And then there's a shade in the new Flora, what is it, Flora Fantasy, I believe is how you say it. Flora Fantasia, that's it. That is similar to it in the shimmery one on my lid right here. There was a topper added on, in my opinion. Now, Mother's has more impact than this one does. I can already say that because this one is quite sheer. And this one, you can see the pigmentation in it. So, again, it may not be exact, but I feel like it had the same, somewhat of the same shimmer pattern. But now, seeing it on the hand, like, as you can see, this was more dual chrome flip. And this one just has, like, the glitters of a similar dual chromey type flip. So, they weren't exactly like I thought. And I'm kind of glad because, you know, and this is more peachy gold. And this means more champagne gold. So I'm just swatching stuff that's similar in the palette since I have both of them open right now. So yeah, as you can see, this is more of a peachy one, and this is more of a classic champagne. So thank goodness I'm not having any overlapping shades when it comes to those. So my thoughts on these palettes are, I think they're actually, you know, pretty nice. They have a nice price point. I'm like everybody else, so I'm not necessarily a fan of the fact that they're all shimmers. So it's like, you could have gave us something else. I don't need just all shimmer. I would like to have some mattes as well. But maybe in the future, you know, like, she'll have some palettes with mattes in them. Maybe she wasn't comfortable with trying out mattes, and she knew that, like, you know, shimmers work well for people. Not to mention, some people will wear all shimmer look. Like, I've seen Mel Thompson do all shimmer looks, and they look fine. It's just, it's not my personal aesthetic, and I don't feel like it's the average person's aesthetic. So it's like, these are just kind of topper holidays palettes for maybe for people who really like singles and have a lot of matte singles but don't have that many shimmery singles. They can add them to that, or maybe you can just layer this with another palette. The thing is sliding out when I stuck it in there. Like, oh, okay, stay in there. But maybe these are just, you know, like, these are accent palettes, obviously, for the average person. But, you know, there are some people who just like to use shimmer. So, I mean, they blend out pretty nice. I don't know how well they'll blend in the crease for you, because I wasn't no, sister girl wasn't doing it. So sorry. No, I was not doing it. This is the first time trying the formula, and I want to take a chance on if it would blend smoothly into the crease and all that. So, yeah. Do I recommend them? I mean, I guess it depends on what color store you have and if you have a lot of makeup in your collection. If you have a lot of makeup in your collection, I don't necessarily think that you need these palettes. I mean, if I had to choose between them, I feel like you know which one I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose Confident Energy, the blue and green one right here. Not that there's anything wrong with this one. It's just more of, when I say blue, greens, and purples, I mean exactly that, in that order. And I just said purple was at the very end. So that's why it's not necessarily a deciding one for me. I was originally just going to pick up this one and that's it. But I just went ahead and got both so we could see how both looked and how both worked. But I would just recommend the Confident Spirits one because that's just more of my color aesthetic. If the Confident Energy. If the Magnetic Spirit one is more your energy, then maybe you should get that one. I don't know. But they worked really nice for the price. And, you know, they look nice. I was fine with what I purchased, and you know, I'm not gonna return them because it's not like there's anything wrong with them. It's just more of, you know, I don't have as many matte palettes as I have shimmer palettes, so it's like I have to reach for those same few mattes and then go into a lot of different shimmers. So maybe if I had more matte palettes, I'd be more excited about it because I'm like, oh, I know I can pair these two with this palette in particular and then these two with this palette in particular. I mean, I think I have maybe 5 matte palettes, so I can pair them with those and see how that goes. But I'm not necessarily that crazy about them because they're all shimmer. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. I want more than just all shimmer, so that's just me. But anyway, those are my thoughts on these palettes. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.